guys, welcome back to my channel. So before I begin this book haul, I just want to thank all of you who made comments on my last video, the life update video. I want to thank you for all your kind and inspirational comments, and I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much. So, on to the book haul. I'm going to start with the manga. I picked up just 2 manga, and they're just continuing in series that I have already read. And the first one is Hour of Zombie. This is by Tsukasa Saimura. This is volume 6. And it's a very different kind of zombie manga in the fact that this plague, this virus that infects people, kind of turns itself on and off on the hour or so. So one minute people are, chomping at other humans, and the next minute they're very aware and cognizant of what's going on and what's happening to them. So but it's still creating a divide, obviously, because the people that aren't infected are feeling threatened by the ones that are, and vice versa too, because then the ones that are infected are trying to be killed by the ones that aren't. So we are following our main character, Akira, and I think there's a picture of him right here. Yeah, this guy right here, that's Akira. And his best friend and his girlfriend have been infected, and when they change back, I mean, he can see that his friends are still there, although in a weird, deteriorating fashion. So I don't know how this is all going to play out, but it's really intriguing. He's of course trying to save them and save everyone. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just don't know how the whole thing is going to play out in the end, but we'll see. And the next manga I picked up is another zombie type one. This is I Am a Hero. This is by Kengo Hanazawa. It's Omnibus Volume 5. And it's an intriguing one too. It takes place in Japan, and we follow this fellow here, Hideo. He's described in Volume 1 as a mentally unhinged manga artist, and you see him in the beginning when he comes back to his apartment. He's got everything kind of locked up, and he has an imaginary friend he talks to. He's not quite all right in the head, yet for some reason he owns a gun. I think maybe he lives in America. But no, this is Japan. Very shocking. But he's very methodical in the rules of everything, who can touch it, where it must be stored, how it should be locked up, everything, even amidst this zombie apocalypse. So it's interesting to see how this character is developing and how he's slowly having to step into the role of hero. Really, really well written. And the artwork is great too. You have a lot of really good detail. The backgrounds and the characters are really well developed. And if you're looking for an interesting manga, I recommend that one. Moving on to just the regular books here. I picked up Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the 1818 text. This is the first time where Penguin Classics has published the original text, and it's on the bicentennial of the original release. It says it preserves the hard-hitting and politically charged aspects of Shelley's original writing with its strong female voice and unflinching wit. And I didn't actually have a copy of Frankenstein. I've read it some time ago, but I didn't have any physical copy of it, and I wanted to pick up one. And since I saw this was released, I thought, well, why not pick up one version of it I haven't actually read. So, sounds intriguing. I'm looking forward to seeing the differences and all, but I'm not sure exactly when I'll get to that. Then I picked this one up at a thrift store, and I've only read one other book by this author, and this is Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. Quite some time ago in high school, I read The Old Man and the Sea. It's been so long, I would like to kind of revisit that one again. But when I saw this one there for just like 75 cents, I thought, why not pick it up? And the interesting thing too, it says it's from Hemingway House in Key West. And it's actually stamped from the library of Hemingway House, which you can't quite see. It's one of those little embossed, you'll see it's a little embossed in here, so maybe someone picked it up in Florida. But it's set during World War I, and it's about kind of a romance during that time of an American ambulance driver and an English nurse. So that's all I know about it. Like I said, I haven't read anything else by Hemingway, so I think it's about time I pick up something else. And then I found this little gem too at the thrift store. This is Jules Verne, and it's a collection of 3 stories. We have Around the World in 80 Days, From the Earth to the Moon Direct, and that's the only one I haven't read, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And it has some really interesting illustrations throughout the book too, which are really quite nice. Like I said, that's the only one I have not read of these 3 stories. And you see, it's kind of peppered throughout with these really wonderful detailed illustrations. So yeah, I got a really good find on that one. Presumably it had a dust jacket at one time, but I don't mind. Next up, I have a book I ordered online because it's not available in the US that I saw. And this is Neil Spring's The Lost Village. I had previously read his other book, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, Ghost Hunters. I did a review on it. You can probably find it on my channel if you just scroll on down there. He has another one called The Watchers, which I'm probably going to be on the lookout for. But this features the same characters from Ghost Hunters. Back in the, what was it, the 1800s? I forget exactly when this took place. But it was an actual real person named Harry Price. He was a notorious ghost hunter. And he investigated Borley Rectory, which is the most haunted place in England. And that's featured in the Ghost Hunters. And they take that factual part and that real person and mix it with some fictional parts and created this cool story. So there's another character named Sarah Gray. She becomes an assistant in that other book. And they formed a relationship and it didn't end well. And this one sort of picks up where that left off. So it says here, some stories are never finished. Some voices demand to be heard even after death. Many years ago, soldiers entered a remote English village called Imber and forced every inhabitant out. It remains abandoned. Each winter, on one night only, Imber's former residents are allowed to return to visit loved ones buried in the overgrown churchyard. But this year something has gone wrong. Secrets are surfacing, putting all who come near Imber in danger. Only one man can help. Notorious ghost hunter Harry Price is reluctantly reunited with his former assistant Sarah Gray. Once she worshipped Harry, but their relationship has soured. Harry knows that Sarah could be the key to unlocking the mystery of Imber, but will her involvement in the case be the undoing of them both? I really love Ghost Hunters, and I'm really looking forward to delving into another book by Neil Spring. And that cover, just kind of chilling. On to a few more ghost stories. I picked this one up at half price. This is The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. It's named The Canterville Ghost, but that's only one of the short stories in here. It apparently is made up of also Lord Arthur Saville's Crime and The Sphinx Without a Secret. So it's a thin little volume of short stories. But it describes the Canterville Ghost as a humorous ghost story. It says, soon after buying the grand and imposing stately home Canterville Chase, the Otises learn that it has been haunted for centuries. But the pragmatic and down-to-earth American family do not let this worry them in the slightest. The Otises merely carry on with their lives, treating the ghosts and his attempts to frighten them as little more than a nuisance. The hapless specter is in despair when nothing seems to frighten his new guests, not his clanking chains or spooky bloodstains on the floor or his late-night visits. The Otis' twin sons even turn the tables on him by dressing up as a ghost and jumping out at him. It's only when 15-year-old Virginia Otis takes pity on him that the ghost sees the error of his ways. So, yeah, it sounded really cute. I love the cover of this one, too. It's a really nice volume. It's got these little French flaps in it. It doesn't say anything, actually, about the other stories within it. So, yeah, check that one out. And then I found this cute little ghost story, hardcover. It's The Poisoned House. This is by Michael Ford. And, again, it doesn't say a whole lot, but I saw the words ghostly and gothic, and I thought, mine. It says here, just life can be cruel for a servant girl in 1850s London. 15-year-old Abby is a scullery maid at Grieve Hall, an elegant but troubled household. As an otherworldly presence makes itself known, a deadly secret is revealed, a secret that will shatter everything Abby knows. So yeah, love myself some gothic horror. This is a title I'd come across a couple times, seen it in the bookstore. I think I'd seen it on BookTube occasionally, but I didn't remember if it got favorable reviews or not, but I was intrigued enough by the description. It takes place in Scotland's Outer Hebrides. This is The House Between Tides by Sarah Main. And I'll just read you the description. Just this part alone here. Kate Morton meets Daphne du Maurier in this atmospheric debut novel about a woman who discovers the century-old remains of a murder victim on her family's Scottish estate, plunging her into an investigation of its mysterious former occupants. So, sounds like a pretty intriguing kind of psychological mystery. Haunting paintings. Could be a little horror in there, or ghostly stuff. I don't know. But, yeah, sounded really good. And again, that cover is just really creepy. And the next one, just two more here. This one's been going on around. I think it's recently been nominated for Women's Literary Prize or something in fiction. This is See What I Have Done. This is by Sarah Schmidt. And it is a kind of retelling of the Lizzie Borden story, but from her point of view, which just really sounds awesome. So, yeah, it's got the Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks, kind of horrific little rhyme there. But it sounds really, really intriguing. I've heard so many good things about this one, and yeah, looking forward to diving into that. And the very last book is one that I actually didn't buy. It was given to me, and this is something that we've been doing for quite a few years now. When someone leaves Barnes & Noble, moving on to another job, or as in my case, not willingly moving on to another job, or for whatever reason, we've chosen a picture book from the children's department, something suitable, and then signed. Everybody's kind of signed or written in it, sort of like a little keepsake book, and it's been presented to that person. So when 4 of us were recently laid off, we each had our own book, and we had a party and everything, and the book they chose for me was just the most perfect book. This is a story I'd first seen as an anime, and I just fell in love with it. And then not too long after that, I happened to see the actual physical book come into the store. I never picked it up. I never actually picked up myself a copy. So I'm so pleased to have a copy of this, although for kind of sad reasons. But I just cherish it all the more for everything that's been written in it. And this is the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lessmore by William Joyce. And if you read, I'll just read this little synopsis here, but if you read this and picture it being given to someone who has had a sudden change in their life, you'll see how perfect it is. Morris Lessmore loved words. He loved stories. He loved books. But every story has its upsets. Everything in Morris Lessmore's life, including his own story, is scattered to the wind. But the power of story will save the day. Yeah, so he's just writing in this book when this sort of looks like a tornado or something just kind of flips everything on end. And it just says he didn't know what to do or which way to go, so he began to wander. And I can definitely relate. Anyway, he finds this woman with the books, and it leads him to this other amazing new world. I'm just trying to show you some of the, where he can, he likes to share books with others. Just beautiful, beautiful illustrations, and the story, like I said, itself. And each day he continues to write in his own book. So it's like he's writing his own story. And this one too, the days pass, the months, the years. Just absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, I'll treasure it all the more for what my friends wrote in it. So anyway, that's my book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, if you've read any of these, let me know what you thought of them down below. And I'll see you in my next video.